Guys, for this problem, this is the bridge problem from the unit 4 lesson 2 lesson, right? So in this case, the bridge problem says that Lynn's job pays $7.50 an hour plus a $25 transportation allowance each week. So she has to work at least 10 hours a week to keep this job and can earn up to $250 per week, including the allowance. So it says, number one says to represent the situation mathematically using an inequality and if we use any variables, for us to specify what those variables represent. So in this case, we know that Lynn will be making $7.50, right? In this case, they're saying every single hour, so that'll be times H, right? So $7.50 for every hour, and it says plus, right? They're gonna give her a $25 allowance, and in this case, it told us that she has to work at least 10 hours, but she wants to earn up to, right? So wants to earn up to. Wants to earn up to $250 here, right? So it's up to that. And so in this case, then, if we know that she's trying to make $250, it says that she can earn up to that, right? So in this case, it means that she'll be able to make that, but she cannot make any more than that. So in this case, it could be equal to exactly $250. But whatever she ends up making could also be less than the $250. But the max that she could do is earn up to the $250 there, right? So in this case, it'll be less than or equal to. So that'll be question number one. But based on that, it's saying, well, how many hours can Lynn work then? And explain our reasoning. So in this case, we would just solve the inequality. So we already found the inequality is 750H plus 25 is less than or equal to 250. So in this case, that's what we worked on today, right? We were solving linear inequalities, very similar to the linear equations. So in this case, we'll subtract 225 from both sides. We get 750H is less than or equal to 225. We're solving for H. We want to know how many hours. So divide by 750 to both sides. And we get that H has to be less than or equal to, in this case, 225 divided by 750. In this case, you come. It'd be 225 divided by 750, which means that H has to be less than or equal to 30 in this case, right? So that means that how many hours can she work? Well, she could work up to 30 hours, but in this case, it could also be less. And the other thing, though, the caveat is that they told us that she has to work at least 10 hours to keep that job. So in this case, that means that it could be H has to be greater than or equal to 10, but H also has to be less than or equal to 30, which is what we just found, right? So we could write it like this, saying H has to be greater than 10 or H has to be less than 30. Or you could write this as one inequality, which would be H has to be less than or equal to 30. But in this case, it would have to be greater than or equal to this 10. So either of these two options could be your final answer. Hope that helps, and be ready to ensure that you know how to do this for the next class, which will be what our exit ticket will look like, or cool down. Hope this helps.